Oh shit. Yo, what up, y'all? It's Abstract Square podcast. What fucking episode is this?
It's 12.
That's 12?
I wish it was 13 on the 13th, but it's not. It's 12.
It's 12. Damn. Fucking up. Fucking up.
Right on time.
Yo, we got a special guest, B.
What's up?
It's Thomas.
Yo.
Yo, your mother's a special guest.
Yo, Thomas missed like how many episodes? 2?
Don't matter.
Couple of
He's here.
Yo, Thomas was like, yo, that one episode, he was like, yo, I can't come. I'm like, what you mean? I'm sick.
First of all, pause. You sound crazy.
He said, I'm sick. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I seen Thomas in the office that week. Homie looked like the Kids See Ghost cover.
Yo, see nasty people around me being nasty.
I'm glad you're back, man.
Contagious fools.
I'm glad you ain't got the pink face no more, yo.
I'm looking good though, baby.
Where were you? What's going on? Tell me about your sabbatical. What's up?
My little sabbatical was fine. Hit the town, went home to Atlanta real quick.
I hear that.
Home. Played around
True.
at Essence and, saw a soul plane both ways. It was cool.
I like that. Balance. Life
Wow.
balance, yo.
Wow, yo, I was in Disney.
You were. You got real black out there in that sun.
Yo, I love black people,
You look like this microphone when you came back.
Yo, nah, I can't say that.
Pause.
You know I got it all.
Yo, relax. Yo, Disney was a good trip, though.
Yeah, I took a little trip to Bermuda. My cousin got married, and yeah, man, it was.
Yo, we out
Say
here.
we out here.
Yo, we
Yeah.
traveling.
Shout out to Rick, too. Man.
Yo, we took a little break. We took a nice little vacation.
But I think it's important, man. It's you got to have that balance. You work hard and you play hard.
Yeah, I mean, Thomas took a little bit longer of a vacation than we did.
Nah, I didn't. You took a long vacation to Disney. I just happened to go away a couple weekends.
This guy been at his job like 3 weeks and already took 2 weeks of vacation.
A couple. I didn't grease them. I didn't ATL them twice.
Whatever though, it don't matter when you work. How many ever you got 365 days out the year and you can't take a couple of weeks off?
Shout out to discretionary time off.
That DTO.
Needed.
Oh man, but yo, when I was in Florida, I had a chance to sort of like take a look at the quality of life down there. It was crazy.
Like retirement?
Nah, bro, not
You
even
done?
retirement. I'm talking about 5-bedroom homes for $250, $275. I sent y'all the pictures, and I'm like, yo, there's something to think about.
For the price of your sneaker collection, you could buy a house.
I could buy a house.
I mean, let's talk about quality of life versus real estate prices. It's two different things we talk about.
Well, it's part of it, right? So if you live in New York City, you already know your quality of life is trash.
I disagree.
Your quality of life is great, B?
I disagree. It's great. My quality of life, the culture, the people I'm around, the things I can see and enjoy, that's my quality of life. If you're talking about real estate, maybe I'm not getting the best value, but that's why I want to let's talk about this. Let's clarify.
So when I talk about quality of life, obviously that includes where you live, where you lay your head, and how long you're there, and when you go to work and when you come home, like all that plays into quality of life. I know you want to say something, but when I think about that, I'm like, yo, I bring work home. I go to work early. I leave work late, and sometimes I work on weekends. Is that a quality of life? Not only that, but my taxes is crazy. My property taxes is nuts.
Property talk.
My mortgage is nuts. And you look at what you get for that in the South, and it's very different.
I see what you're saying. I definitely see it is very different.
Is that not quality of life?
There's so many ways you can twist it. You talking property, you talking taxes, you talking money, but also you can have the quality with those things that you do have. And I think that's the part that we got to talk about and flush it out. Because I feel like, you might not have the biggest house. You might not have, the means to go on vacation every 6 months. But if you're happy, if you're surrounded by family, and if you are in close proximity of the things that you love to do, to me, that's still quality of life.
Yeah, so I'm not in close proximity to shit that I like to do. We got to pick up and go for things I like to do. To me, quality of life is, let me tell you the piece that I'm missing when it comes to quality of life. I like to spend at least 2 to 3 hours a day in the house just talking to my wife, talking to my family, talking to my friends, and there is no way that I can do that Monday through Friday. I get about an hour of my own time.
You talk to anybody that lives in the South, they'll tell you when they leave work, it feels like they're going on a vacation on a Monday or a Tuesday.
It does feel that way. It does kind of like, it looks bright outside. Imagine leaving work in the summer and it's still light out.
You know what? It's like summer Friday every day.
Every day is
Every
summer
day
Friday.
of the week.
I was with my homeboy in the A the other day, and he worked on Friday, and he took one call. His shirt was completely off in the car, coming from the gym. He was done for the day. 15 minutes.
I mean, that's crazy. So maybe let's talk about international. Let's talk about Europe.
And his house like 2,500 square feet.
Jesus.
And he made his children breakfast that morning.
Where you get, Europe, you get a couple of months off over the summer. It's just practice, right? Like,
Right.
all right, you might go to work, whatever, 8 to 8, bring it home on the weekends. But for 3 months during the summer, June, July, August, you don't got to go to work. Not at all. Is that quality of life? Is that a balance? Or is it more the consistent? You know, like, I think it's many ways you can flip and dice it.
You know, honestly,
I'll take that.
yeah, I'll take that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'll even take the 4-day, 10-hour work week.
For real. Brian you hit the nail on the head earlier, though. Like, it's really, to me, about spending time with your loved ones.
Yep.
And being in proximity of things that you really enjoy doing. We can get to things we like doing. We are in New York City. Culture is amazing here. But, like, do we have time to do those things?
Right. You know what I feel like New York City is? A sacrifice.
Yeah.
I
You got
feel
no wish
like
to be poor.
I feel like New York City is one big sacrifice. Like, everything you do, if you want to go enjoy yourself, that's a sacrifice. You're thinking about where that time could be utilized elsewhere.
Like, if you want to live in the city, the sacrifice is you got to jump over a rat. If you want to live outside the city, the sacrifice you have to commute to work for an hour and a half.
Right.
Sucks.
You want roommates? Go to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yo, because I remember when I first moved here, we actually know someone that lived in Harlem and had to share. Thomas and I, we knew someone that had to share a bathroom with the rest of the floor, and she was spending how much?
I don't know. No clue.
$3-4 grand.
$3-4 grand to share a bathroom with a floor.
5th floor walk up.
A floor.
A floor.
A floor.
So basically, you staying in a hostel.
With a 5th floor walk up.
Yeah, and it was wild because the last time I experienced that was in a dorm. I was a
it
freshman.
above Red Rooster or something? Was it prime location? Like,
No.
No,
I don't remember where it was, but
it wasn't prime.
It wasn't like.
It wasn't on the strip.
No.
I mean, it's that sacrifice. But I mean,
It's an L to me.
I also think that, like, as your life goals and situations change, that quality of life changes. Like, for me right now, I'm out here living. You know, like, I need to be near the culture, city, all of that stuff. Like, I would lose my mind if I was anywhere near a suburb where, you know, I didn't have the opportunity or the proximity to do, you know, the things that I wanted to do. But like we talk about, I feel like that could change in a heartbeat.
I think it will. I think it all depends on where you are in life. Like,
because I look at us, we live in suburban New York in my mind. Like, it is Jersey, but like it's suburban New York.
yeah.
And I completely appreciate that because I need the balance of all this hustle bustle. Then I go to the other side and it smells decent.
Yeah.
And they say Jersey smells, and it's like, nah,
Nah, fam.
It's the other way around.
Man, I gotta like navigate the homeless guy jerking off on the grate of the train. I'm trying to like, I gotta get out of here.
So even if y'all had to work, whatever, even if you had a 40-hour work week and could get off at 5 o'clock.
Wait, can you not make a joke?
Yo, dead ass. Even if, would New York City or the surrounding suburbs be an ideal place, or would you still think you didn't have that quality of life?
Nah, even if you work 40 hours in New York City, it's still not a quality of life because the cost to do anything here is absurd.
That's what I was gonna say. I'd have to quadruple my salary and live in the city in a beautiful place for me to feel like I'm getting a certain quality of life. I'd have to have a backyard on my roof for me to feel like I have attained some sort of balance.
And it's not even just that, but it's your coworkers.
Yeah, they look nasty.
It's you think about it, right? I look at some of my colleagues and I say to myself, how much longer can I compete at this level?
Yeah.
Like,
in the Slack that chat, y'all be out here posting
like,
pics.
Think about it.
Man.
You got someone that's like 27, 28, They're hungry. They're looking at my spot. Like it's like sports.
It really is.
It's legit. It's like legitimately like sports where you got this kid who's trying to take his spot.
Trying to AI you.
Yeah, he's trying to AI me.
Tehran Lou over here.
Yo, and I have to be conscious of that, and that's why I put in the hours that I do because I'm competitive. Thomas and I talked about this earlier. It's like I'm not trying to lose. I'm gonna Charles Barkley you in your throat.
Not only you not trying to lose, you're trying to gain, right? Like you're trying to play the game not only on the level you're on, but on the next level too. So it's like you're always gonna be out there trying to attain. When in my mind, I'd love to like get rid of that competitiveness and just enjoy my life. Right. And it's impossible here. Like,
and that's why I can't say it's impossible because I mean, every situation you got to make the best of that. Like this hunger, this competition. Like I can't say I felt it before, but in a shady way of people just backstabbing and doing the things that you know.
Right. They're doing those things because they have to live.
Right.
That person that's backstabbing you,
he's getting paid $40,000 a year,
and their rent is $3,000 a month,
right.
and he's looking at you like the only way I'm gonna make rent is if I AI Brian.
This is a different animal. It's a different
beast.
Beast.
It's wild. And then you look at the why the pace is much slower in the South than it is up north, and it's because they don't have to worry about those things.
Cost of living is easier.
Yeah. Yo, I was in Orlando. It took 10 minutes for this girl to get my Starbucks, and I was bugging.
Yeah.
All right, I got a question.
Even Chipotle in my neighborhood takes forever. Like in comparison to like if I would go there for lunch, it's just a different animal.
Yeah.
All right, there's career and there's aspirations and side hustles. If you were in the South and you didn't have 27-year-old Bob coming at your neck, you think you would be at the career level or the type of person you were without that? You said you're competitive. You said you go at it. You got to keep your spot. Something makes me feel like, you might not be as hungry in the workplace because it's not as hard.
Let me answer that, Chad. Yes, we're always going to be competitive. Like that's just innate, right? Mm-hmm. I feel like I want to be less competitive now because it's so draining. Yeah, if I wasn't completely drained, I'd be fighting a lot harder.
Yep.
I'm tired. I'm tired. Like,
yeah, no, that's it. I'm tired.
We sacrifice so many things in this city. Like, I talk about this all the time. Like, I gained weight when I moved back to New York. Why? Probably a little bit of depression. A lot of like no time to even like do the things that I love. Like, I play basketball all my life. Ain't no time to play no basketball. Ain't no time to play no games, B.
Nah.
Ain't no games out here. Like it's too competitive on a corporate level. Like I don't got time for that.
Now is that a factor of like the times we're in, recession and all that stuff? Because what happens if it was the 80s? It might have been a different story. Could we be eating like we, like I feel like it might be also there's other factors going in. You got
are you saying it's the times that we're in?
I think it is. I think it's also, yes, it's New York City, right? But there's times and places where it wasn't as hard as it is to live in New York City. Yeah,
like don't get me wrong, though. Like we all live well, right? We all on a certain place where we should have nothing to complain about,
right?
But I'm reflecting on what it took to get to this point and what it's going to take to get to the next point, and the shit again.
Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your reflection, you're like, fuck, I'm tired.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about to drink. It's that real.
Yeah. Yo, because I look back to when I did live in Atlanta and how I was living based on what I was making.
I remember where you were living, and it's like, yo, I'm just attaining that now.
But it wasn't crazy. You were surviving, and you were out. You were doing okay.
More than okay.
Yeah, I lived in Buckhead, making not a lot of money. Where am I gonna live like that up here?
Where I live, and it's like, but it's a lot more. But like, you're not gonna get that kind of thing. Midtown Manhattan,
no,
where it helps you to be competitive, which is a thing that I always talk about. It's helpful to be closer to the money.
Yeah.
But to be closer to the money costs money.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think we're gonna see a shift, right? Like, as
you're so optimistic. This is bullshit.
Yo, no, I think we're gonna see a shift, like, for us to get that quality of life. Like
in New York City.
Not in New York City, outside of New York City. as
Like
things
what?
become remote, as we start to figure out hustles that may not require you to be in New York City
That's
or
even
outside.
worse. I was remote forever.
Mm.
You don't. So
You don't-
so that competitiveness we're talking about, you're not even like in the game to compete when you're like completely remote. This whole thing
Can't
is
do it.
like moving, shaking, talking, grabbing drinks, doing coffee. If you're not doing that
That's
at
a
a
part
high
of the
level,
game that I forget about too. You gotta.
if you're not doing that at a high level and you're like not even coming into the city, you're not even in the industry.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, think about that. You go to work, you got to go to a happy hour
Facts.
or a networking event. If you got a family, you home by 9,
Yeah.
10 o'clock. You don't even see a child that day.
She in bed or he in
Yeah,
bed.
because you've spent an hour on a train or a bus or a ferry boat.
Or you spend $4,500 for something you're renting to feel like you can see your child a little bit earlier.
Yep. You spending that extra money to get home faster. Instead, you get out of work at 5. All right, prime example. So my coordinator, she's based out of Detroit. I don't talk to her after 5. 5 o'clock on the dot, she's gone.
I mean, we've all seen that.
And so does she pick her laptop back up at
No,
night?
No, that's not the culture.
that's not the culture in Detroit.
So she's
Everyone
done.
gets out of work at 5 and they're done.
And does she get shit for that?
No.
It's the culture because everyone else in the office is gone. When I went to go visit and I was working out of that office for 2 days, I looked nuts being there at 5:45.
So I got a coworker, a colleague, amazing. She's director, designer. Yo, I hear her bag zips at 4:57 every day.
And she's
I'm
judged.
sure she has a family.
No, she's
too.
not.
She's not judged.
She's not. She's not.
Man.
Shout out to the culture. It's your company.
But she said,
Right.
yeah. And so it's different, right? But I think she's also setting the tone about, what's more important. Right? She's got a 2-year-old at home.
Right.
Yeah.
She got to go pick her up.
Right. People start to understand that. a
Her
little
husband
better
travels.
It's getting better.
now. Yeah.
But like, I think it's also about setting that tone and gets back to that point of like, yo, I think that there's a movement in areas for you to set that tone or that quality of life. Because who's not going to understand that?
Someone who
Nah,
doesn't have kids.
A lot of people don't, right?
A lot of people don't. It
Yeah.
depends on a lot, right? It depends on the stage of the company, right? So y'all know, but the listeners may not know. I worked with a lot of early stage companies that may have only raised like $5-10 million. I don't care what kind of kids you got. We only got this kind of. We only have a little bit of runway
Yo.
before this company is gone.
Tell
Yeah.
him to feed himself. Yo.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the company may be gone if we don't make this money today. So it's quiet for you leaving at 5.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question. Do either of your managers have kids?
Yes.
No,
And what time does your manager leave the office?
9-10 o'clock.
B.
5.
That's wild.
Like I've never seen my manager leave before me, ever. Like, and that it boggles my mind because I try to play that game of, nah, I'm not leaving, so you leave,
Right.
and then it just gets out of hand.
We at 11:30.
Like,
Yeah. So it's so interesting because every job that I've started ever since I've had my daughter, I never have mentioned that I had a child in the interview process. And then as soon as I get the job, I'm always like, hey, just want to let you know, I got to leave to go get my daughter some days. And, I need to leave by 5. Or if the train is at 5,
right?
4:45.
4:45. And there's always that little bit of hesitation, like, okay.
Oh.
Because I think it shocks a lot of people that I'm a parent, actually, because I don't look like a dad.
No, you do.
Nah, you do.
Like, don't flatter yourself.
Yo, yeah. He over feeling himself. Nah,
Yo.
you look like a dad.
To them, because most of the places I work, everyone's super young, and I don't
Yeah.
look my age, so they're always shocked, like, "Oh, your dad? Oh, how old is your child?" And I'm like, "Oh, this number." Like, really?
You should start saying like 17.
So they could be like, "Why you leaving?"
Totally judging you. No, they're like, oh, so you started early.
Yeah, but they always look at you crazy, and I feel like that wouldn't be the case elsewhere.
Nah, I'm thinking about the West Coast. When I've had to work in SF, in San Francisco, I've never seen people like not at a happy hour at like
Right.
5:05.
That's a different
Yeah.
life.
Like ever. And like it just feels good.
So
It's a different quality of life.
Forget the South, because we like to compare to Atlanta because we all live there.
yeah,
But like, forget the South, which is like no industry. You know what I'm saying? It's not as much, like, it's not as competitive. But I'm talking about like Silicon Valley. They're still leaving if they're not like at Google, sleeping in their cars, so they can't afford rent.
Right.
But
I think it's it's an industry culture, and I think also, Chad, like that's what, like for me, my situation is a little different, right? We're not exactly a startup. We're past that phase. I would say we're a young company now, but the culture is built around people who understand that we give birth. We, in case y'all didn't know, users. See, I'm still in work mode. Listeners, like
users, right?
we have a woman CEO. We're a beauty company that I work with. So, I mean, it's more than understood that if you got to take leave, if you got to get out, if you have to take care of stuff for your children and for your family, no questions asked.
My favorite term. That's the cultural aesthetic of that business. Yeah. It's beauty. It's a woman founder. They're going to be that culture because she is hiring her friends that understand her sensibilities, and it just trickles down.
Yeah.
But change that, right? And make that not that unique situation. It's quiet.
It's got to be the status quo. And I also think that we could get to that point, but.
So are you saying we should work for women CEOs?
He almost said female, just to let y'all know.
Yo, you saw the F come out his mouth.
Women.
If that's what it takes, Chad, yeah. Because everybody can benefit from that type of lifestyle.
I love working for women. I ain't gonna lie.
Everybody can. I mean, think about that. If you had the opportunity to leave at 5:30, no questions asked, you go home. Why wouldn't that be a better quality of life? Because that's what it's really about. Yeah. Like, we work all day. Yeah, we over here by Wall Street, industry, tech alley, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, what really matters, right? What Tommy talked about in the beginning. Your family, your friends, your surroundings, talking to
your
those
mental
people.
health, right? Like, let's say we don't have that unique situation of like family, right?
Right.
Just doing the things you love, the things you're passionate about, right? If that thing doesn't exist, like, who are you as a human being?
And I feel like you can get lost in that.
Right.
You forget about the things you love because your time is consumed with your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, it's funny because like I sometimes see the opposite where people stay later than they have to because those are their friends. They spend so much time together that those are the people that they actually get that sanity from. There's a happy hour going on right now as I speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm only giving a flying 747 fuck with these people.
Right.
Yo, Danny talks about it all the time. She says those folks are those are the out-of-towners. It's like
clearly
the kids from Wyoming who didn't have friends there and got friends at work.
But that's the love of New York. That's the joy of New York, is that you got young people, like-minded people who also came here, it's a melting pot, right? That you can vibe with.
Or they live with five roommates and
they don't want to go home.
Somebody got a scrunchie on the door and you can't even go home because you don't want to hear,
Yo, for the listeners, that really don't understand like what this, like, no pun intended, like Gotham City is really about. People come here and find studio apartments and build walls so that they can make it a 2-bedroom apartment.
Facts.
We're talking about 300-400 square feet for $2,500 that someone needs to build a pressurized wall so they can just exist in this city.
I wonder how big this room is that we're in right now.
You can count the squares. It's probably like 10 by, what is it?
8 by 5. 85.
85 square feet.
85 square feet. There's someone right now paying $5,000 in Long Island City right now
85.
for the size of this room.
Yeah, this is somebody's bedroom. I've actually, when I first moved up here, one of my coworkers, she moved up here also, and she found an apartment, and she couldn't fit a full-size bed. And they were paying like $2,300, and this is almost 10 years ago.
Yo, there's somebody right now using their ironing board as their dinner table.
Yo.
Oh, my God. Nah, that's a fact.
That's a real fact. There's someone right now using their kitchen as a closet.
Somebody right now without an oven coming into your office every day.
With an easy bake lunch.
Making grilled cheese with the toasters?
With a toaster oven. Going, he got game and using a iron for the meal.
Yo, that's wild. Like, the fact that there's someone out there living like that, and that's what I mentioned earlier about the sacrifice. They're willing to sacrifice leaving mom and dad in Arkansas in the
Because how else they gonna be in the game?
Their 4-acre farm to come to New York City and to say they've made it here.
Because they got to get in the game.
But I mean, it's more than just saying that you made it here. But if you've grown up in
What else is it?
Yo, but there ain't no industry in most other places. Like, if you're gonna be in the industries we're in, you have to be here.
Yeah.
I feel like the game is to come here and get the fuck out.
I mean, I agree with some of that, but I also think it's finding who you are, because there's so many different people in this. What if you are the only graphic designer in Wyoming, in your little town, and you have nobody to talk to, nobody to vent to, nobody to understand?
You got the biggest crib in Wyoming then.
Yeah, you
lit.
You monopolize that.
You lit.
Okay, but if you fucking ripping your hair out because you crazy.
Okay, so you're the biggest designer in that town. You come to New York City and your shit is trash. And you got to compete with someone that's doing an experience for all of Manhattan.
Or don't even make it so extreme about Wyoming, right? If I go back to Atlanta and I am well-versed in programmatic strategy for advertising,
Talk about it.
I'm going straight to the biggest agency there, and they're like, help us.
Yeah.
Like, immediately. Like, it's not even...
And you know why? Because you came from New York.
You did it in New York.
Yep.
On a high level.
Speaking of Wyoming, it hits me just now.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. How y'all feel about this Wyoming not wanting this crowd of rappers to take
I don't
over?
want them niggas in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's a fact. And we're not editing out that word because that is so factual.
So,
like,
listeners, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, months ago, Kanye West produced a slew of albums. And part of what he was doing was recording in Wyoming, out in the country. But for all these, I guess, album releases, particularly his, he flew a bunch of entertainers and artists and media people out to Wyoming to enjoy the album and music. And the backlash was that they don't want these rappers and other people to come more often because it's messing up the experience.
It got to, because you flew a private jet onto my farm with Lil Yachty's beads and braids. That sounds crazy.
Yo, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't even care. Like, I really don't. I don't care that they're upset. I'd be outraged if this was happening in Brooklyn. But like, that's their thing. Like, y'all keep that.
Hood.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm not flying private jets onto farms.
Tech Nine good out there, but Ye not good out there.
Nah, he not.
Why? I mean, they want to keep a certain culture.
In a sense, it's happening to our neighborhoods right now, right? And we don't like it.
Yeah. So who are we? I mean, because Flatbush ain't Flatbush.
Bed-Stuy ain't Bed-Stuy. Crown Heights ain't Crown Heights.
South Jamaica ain't South Jamaica.
Bushwick ain't Bushwick. No, it's not.
It's crazy.
Spaha, right?
Is that what they call it?
Spaha, Sobro, like, yo.
What's Spaha?
Spanish Harlem.
Oh, I thought you were like Soja, like South Jamaica.
But yo, where do we go? That's the question.
Where do we go?
Where do we go?
Why do we gotta go?
Where do we go though? Okay, now this is a real question.
I'm going. 2 words.
Where do we go if there's Soja, Soho, Sobro, whatever, Bushwick, Williamsburg? Where do we go?
Far.
Newburgh.
No. That sounds crazy.
That's where they pushing us off to. They moving us north.
They ain't pushing us. They pushing them. Yeah, call me elitist if you want to, but I go right where I want to be.
All right, Jim. You sound like Jim right now.
No, I'm just being honest. Like, I'm not going nowhere. Like,
all right, Jimmy, you out here?
No, thankfully we can go where we want to go, but some people are really getting pushed out.
Yeah,
and that's what I mean.
That's not just happening here. That's happening everywhere. If you live in the metro area, remember how the metro area was at one point like urban? I hate to use that word, but that's all I can think of.
I mean, it is. Why? Yeah. Why you hate the word? Right?
I hate the
just
word
means city.
Yeah, just like I hate the word ghetto.
Oh man, I really hate that word.
Why?
I mean,
who created that word?
People that wanted to have a conversation about a certain class in a certain space, like.
Nah. All right, so let me go.
I mean, the original definition is a Jewish slum, right? Like,
oh wow, I thought that the original definition was just like saying a group of people in a certain space.
Mm-hmm. Jewish slum, but it's become that word to.
Oh, then fuck that word though.
Yeah.
So all right. So for the sake of the show, can we use the word urban just for today?
Urban means city to me, so I'm fine with that. Urban, suburban.
That's fine.
All right.
We're not using it the way everybody else uses it.
All right. Perfect. So at one point, the metro area was the urban place where all of the African Americans lived.
Oh,
right?
you just changed the word urban for me.
Why?
Because I don't put a race with urban.
Is that not a fact?
That's why I hate it though. That's what that.
No,
No,
but-
we're in an urban area right now. That's not an African American area. Like,
All
I
right.
know what you're saying,
Yeah.
Chad. I know what you're saying, and I know what he's saying. And the industry has labeled urban, and just like it's taking ghetto and put another label on it,
Right.
urban has the same connotation now because music industry, movie industries
Right.
target quote unquote urban areas, aka
They categorize
people of color.
with people
because
of color.
if you go to a beautiful apartment, they're gonna call like an urban oasis. Like they're not putting, anybody.
Did y'all see that video of Orchard Beach?
Oh yeah, that's crazy. Hidden gems in New York City.
Yo, that was
All right,
crazy.
users, you can look up. I keep on
Listeners,
saying this.
man.
Listeners, my
That'll
fault.
work.
Yo, I know. The Thrillist put out a video, a travel video of like a hidden gem, a hidden beach. Did you know that there was a beach in the Bronx?
Until you get booked in the Bronx. Until you out there looking like Safari in the
Till you
Bronx.
step on some glass.
Straight.
Oh man.
Yo, let me finish my point.
No. Nah. God
Nah.
damn.
Yo, so at one point
Yo,
we
B,
all
man.
lived...
I was so,
Nah, don't be cutting me off. Yeah, at one point, black people lived in the metro area, right?
Mm-hmm.
They pushed us, and now they're starting to push us out because they call it white flight.
Starting.
What is white flight?
You never heard of white flight?
No. It sounds like the opposite of my flight to Essence.
All right, so white flight is essentially when a group of white people live in an area and black people start to infiltrate that area because they can now afford everything in that area. So when that happens, white people flight, they leave, and that's what they call white flight. So you'll notice why some areas of New York City or New Jersey were once populated by black people are now populated by white and vice versa.
Right.
So just like what's happening in Atlanta right now, for those that live in Atlanta,
Shout out to Bankhead.
Bankhead was once not what it is today.
It was once the trap, says T.I.
And vice versa.
Allegedly.
Like there's a part of Jersey that was once predominantly African American, and it's now transitioned, and vice versa. Now you can tell by the houses, right? So back in, I believe, like the 60s, all these houses were fairly large compared to the houses that were in the surrounding areas, because it was like a prevalent area for whites. Black people started to get money in the 80s, in the 90s. They moved in, and the whites moved further out west of Jersey.
Good example of that, right? My old neighborhood, Rochdale, right?
Yeah.
It's a Jewish word.
Mm-hmm.
It was all Jewish. Those are co-ops. You go to watch the movie Belly, it's the projects.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
White
But
flag.
now it's crazy how we're seeing the opposite happen, right? Because the suburbs are turning into the Mariettas and the whatevers of the world,
Right.
are turning into safe havens for us because now we're getting priced out of the city,
Right.
where we were.
Yo, look at Stone Mountain.
Goddamn.
You say yeah, but at one point Stone Mountain was a pretty prevalent area for whites.
I didn't know that.
You mean the KKK? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, That is okay. I did.
Yeah.
Know that. Yeah.
Now, yeah, because obviously, what's at the top of Stone Mountain, right?
You already know. I can't remember the general's name, but yeah.
Yeah. So now you got isn't the Migos from Stone Mountain?
No,
Who's from Stone Mountain?
Childish Gambino.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
from Stone Mountain. Migos is from North Side.
I
That way.
think he was born in New York, but he grew up in
That way.
Oh, and then someone else is from Stone Mountain. Who cares? I don't know.
Don't matter.
That was my point. Move on.
Yeah, totally.
Right.
the one.
What else is popping? What else is going on this week? Let's just talk about it.
Yo, what about y'all homegirl that was on Twitter the other day that said something crazy? What did she say? That was ridiculous.
Oh,
we identified that she
I
has
think
no man in her
the
life?
term was emotional space. And,
Oh, emotional access.
Oh, yeah, emotional
emotional
access.
access.
A man will take on a man. Well, can you say it for me, please, B?
I can paraphrase it. A man will say that they want to be friends so that they can have emotional access without dealing with the other BS that they have to deal with when it comes to a relationship.
Can we
Fuck out of here.
Yo, can we at her in the comments so she can hear me say, I don't want to have emotions or access or anything to do with anything as silly as you're speaking about. And you need to come up here to Abstract Square and have a conversation about your lack of like ingenuity.
Talk about it. I mean, I don't know. Chad,
Yo, so I had a lot to say, but I was like, I need more context before I jump into this conversation with her. And when I responded to her on Twitter, I said,
you responded?
Yeah, emotional access, ? LOL. She responded and said, it's not funny, but carry on. It is funny. What man wants emotional access to you?
I think what she really was trying to get across is that the woman may want emotional access to a man, and I think they think that we're playing the same game, but there is Mars and Venus out here a little bit.
I mean, it boils down to the belief that men are trash, and there's nothing we could do about it.
Yo,
Men are trash. Like,
and
I've accepted that.
why not just say that?
Yeah, just say men are trash.
But also, don't generalize us.
No, you have to.
No, you don't.
Yeah, you do.
Don't be like a hyper intellectual for no reason.
Come on,
stupid.
don't.
You got to.
Don't generalize us.
You got to.
Nah, you're not gonna come for me for saying female and then generalize men for trash.
I got you. Wow.
Don't
I'll tell you why. Because here's where I see one side and I see the other side. Just like I see, we talked about Jeb in a couple of episodes before, right? Like, I know Bob from New York City is cool, wears a Yankee fitted, understands culture. But there's Jeb who maybe you got to talk to Jeb because Jeb might listen to you before he listens to Chad. At the end of the day, you might not want to hear it, but the belief is that if we are all men, we're supposed to hold each other accountable, right? We're supposed to check each other. You're not here for that?
I'm not here for that.
You're not here for that? You're not here for checking
I work way
your
too
mans?
hard. I work way too hard to be generalized because somebody else fucking up.
Yo, we're so much individuals that like, why are you generalizing me? I don't care about your emotions or my own. I don't even want to have mine. Why do I want yours? I don't even want my own emotions.
We can't even process the shit, to be real with you.
Nah.
If I get emotional, I'm like, yo, what am I doing out here? If you get emotional, I'm checking you.
Yo, I don't know. For someone as a child, a daughter specifically, I don't want her to generalize men, say men are trash when she has a father that has been a figure in her life that she loves.
Well, why should I have to find a husband at some point in her life?
Yeah.
She gonna be just like homegirl. Whatever her at name is, I wish I knew it. I'd say it because I know y'all won't.
We're not gonna do that.
Nah.
Yo, petty. Yo, I like this, Thomas. Yo, go on vacation more often and come back with this petty. Yo, I like this energy.
Nah, because I think it's unfair, right? The way that I ride for women, I feel like it's so whack when they come from the
You
other.
see what happened? He rode from women, they shitting on him.
Bell Crooks out here.
No. See, I'm not generalizing, right? She generalized. I don't like that we are tasked with holding our women down, holding black women down on a regular basis. Yeah. Women in general, right?
Yeah.
Forget race. And then you got this woman that comes back.
You was about to say female, yo.
No, I wasn't going to say that. I was going to talk about her hair, to be honest with you. But I'm not going to do that. But then she comes and generalizes us. It's not fair. Like, it's not cool at all.
But here's the thing. If you're not that, right, why are you worried about it? I get it.
Because I got friends and family.
Yeah, you got friends and family, and you can check them. But
yo,
if you're not that, why are you worried about it? You're
single.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of seeing
it. Think about it. Every time a female says that to another single woman, that lessens your chance of that opportunity.
Nah, I don't.
Yes, it does.
I'm not trash.
Yeah, but you're not. But you've just been generalized along with somebody that is.
As for her message, you're trash.
And here's the thing. And the woman that assumes that I'm trash, then she's not the one for me.
She's not.
Get out of here.
Yo, she's not. But it's all poison. If you're putting that poison out to the world, she's got so many followers. Someone that was on the verge of saying, you know what, I'm not going to be that way. That might have been the tipping point for them.
It's the negative connotation that comes with the word virus, right? And you say viral. Like, it's literally what happens.
Yeah.
It's viral.
Yeah.
It's nasty.
She got to take that back.
She should. And we should address it. She needs to come pull up.
She not.
Is she here in the city?
Nah, she can't be though.
She can't. Let's do it.
She not doing that.
Why is she not doing that?
She's not gonna entertain this.
Because I ain't gonna lie. If we put up, we're gonna put up in something trash.
She got a brand. She got a brand and followers and don't get me wrong. Like we all know we could argue on every side, but one thing I'm not gonna do is mess the money up, and she's not gonna mess with that.
That's not fair. You can't be the person saying I'm not gonna mess the money up when this is your truth.
She put it out there. We didn't.
That's her truth, and the tweet didn't go away.
It's still there. She
I
got
use
to live
the word
on that.
truth very loosely.
It's her truth.
She
not mine.
By her posting it, she put it out there. It's
Public
not like
domain.
Yeah, it's not like she deleted it. She got to stand on that. Just like everything we post.
We want emotional access. Now, honestly, and I'm gonna say this, and I said this to my friends in the group chat. No, we more looking for like physical access than emotional access. If you want to be real about it.
Yeah. Now, if she would have said physical access, we wouldn't have.
You're probably right. Like, you probably.
We're not even like discussing this.
The wipe down is imminent.
Emotional access.
No.
Nah, I'm not trying to hear that.
I'm trying to see that 5-5. Nah, man.
Nah, she's fucking up the game for a lot of women. Not even men. Women.
Yeah.
What if imagine one of us walking around saying women are trash. We looking at each other real funny.
Yeah.
Women are trash. Women only want physical access to us.
That means you a hoe. Sounds crazy, man.
Yo,
I don't know. Maybe I'm the optimist, yo. Call me that. But whatever.
Dude trying to brand himself.
Yeah, he trying to take my feminist swag and put it into
Optimist, yo.
optimist. Like,
The optimist,
what's your ist, Chad?
Optimus Prime, yo.
Yo, I'm the asshole, remember?
But you need an ist.
Oh.
I'm the optimist, yo. It don't matter. Like this, just like you not all trash. I'm sitting in a room with dudes who are not trash. I get it. Maybe most men are trash, right? Or most men that they deal with.
Most is 51%. That's a stretch.
And here's the thing, like most and all are confused with specifics, right?
Right.
And that's the part that most people miss. Yeah, you putting out a tweet, but we know that. If you know the context, then why are you worried about it?
Saying most men are trash is worse. It's just as bad as saying most women are hoes.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Actually, it's your fault.
My fault?
No, it's their fault.
Oh, I thought like, what did I do?
Yo, it's their fault. Think about it. If you're giving someone emotional access, that means you've given them entry into your emotions. Right?
Which is inevitable, though, right? Like,
no, it's not. We've all dealt with women that have not given us emotional access, right? Have you not liked a woman and she's like curved you? Is that not curving you like on emotional access?
Yeah, it's
your fault. You allow a fuckboy in your
you so
life.
Fraudulent, yo.
You allow a fuckboy in your life.
Yeah, yo, anytime,
can we talk about S's, man? I want to talk about
fuck that. Anytime you allow someone to give you that energy in your life, it's your fucking fault.
You mad?
Yeah,
mad. Talk about it. I like this.
It's energy. Anytime I feel someone's energy is off, get the fuck from around me.
Nah, I'm on the same page, but let's send her the airplane emoji and tell her to come pull up to the pod.
All right.
Abstract Square gave me the fly out.
So speaking of energy, talk to me about Essence. Like there was a lot of beautiful black women, black people, a lot of brands.
Thomas ain't seen no beautiful black women out there. Right?
I'm talking his wife,
baby. That's what I was saying. I was looking nowhere. I was making sure she was safe, man.
I hear that, but what was the experience like? I heard it's changed over the years. I heard it's the highest attended Essence Fest in ever. Period.
Oh, really? This last one?
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope. I didn't hear that.
Yeah, either. I mean, it was dope to see everybody around. I saw friends from high school, friends from college, just like our network, just kind of out and about without anything pretentious going on was kind of dope because it's rare that we see our network without like pretentiousness around it.
I've never been, but does it give you a homecoming feeling?
Yeah.
I think New Orleans, you have to do that in New Orleans. From the history of New Orleans, post Katrina and what that means, to us and like the city, like you have to be down to earth in that city.
It's a
You have
very
to.
down to earth flow.
It's
Yeah.
a different vibe. It's a spiritual vibe in New Orleans. Like the people from there, you look them straight in the eye and it's love. Like you talk to people from there and it's love. You know, like it's nothing
Got a
malintent.
dope example.
Yo, what was your
I
example?
got in the Uber. It's four of us in the Uber. She goes, y'all like karaoke? I got karaoke in the Uber, baby. She puts a speaker out and says, put your Bluetooth on it. And we start key. Like,
Do you love me?
imagine that in your Uber. You doing karaoke.
You
in
was
your
doing the
Uber.
nice for what in the Uber?
I'm not even nice. So how can I?
You was twerking in the Uber sign.
Point being, it's a very welcoming environment. Everyone's very welcoming. Like, New Orleans, you might, get shot if you go to the outskirts, but like, it was a very welcoming
Honestly, you
environment.
won't. I'm gonna be real with you. You won't because of the love that I mean. I've been down there a couple of
Yeah,
months ago.
you know
you
what?
won't.
I have that feeling about the inner city in general, especially with black people. Like, I really feel like we generally have a love for each other, and it's just not portrayed that way, like
Yeah.
in media and such. So, like, yeah, let me take that whole comment back. It's definitely love when you go out there, like 100%.
It's not like just it's one of those things where I expected that, right? I expected the Newark, Jersey City, like feeling of like, yo, maybe I shouldn't be here. But as soon as I stepped foot in those areas, it was like, oh, word, you trying to expect you want my culture? Let me show you what it is, baby. Come on, let me show you what it is.
It's the hood love you experience up here, but on steroids with the Southern hospitality.
That's dope.
That's dope.
I gotta go.
No,
You have to
don't.
take.
Nah,
you have to.
I gotta go.
You got to. I'm gonna say
Yeah.
you got to.
No, I'm gonna say it's quiet.
It's quiet.
It's not quiet.
I don't want to
Go on an off weekend. Don't go on Essence. But
Oh
just-
yeah, into New Orleans definitely.
Nah, I'm not doing Essence.
Yeah, it's quiet.
I've never been interested in Essence.
Take chat.
It's dope from a cultural perspective. Like, if you really want to be around black culture on a different level, I definitely recommend Essence. If you're looking for that,
I'm not.
well then it's quiet.
Yeah.
Nah, I think you should take the.
I just
want
want to. I just want to understand the culture out there.
Very different. It's nothing else like that in this country.
You got to do it.
That
Ghost tours and like
I'm good on.
all
that.
kind of satanic things. And
I wouldn't. I don't say
voodoo.
satanic. Don't say. I think that let's
wrong?
talk about. Yeah,
Okay.
that's not because that's a label that's been put on something that people haven't understood for years. As far as voodoo and what our spirituality means, versus Christianity, like
Right.
understand that voodoo comes from a place of real, real substance, and because people have not understood that, it's been labeled as satanic or
Right.
whatever it is. And what I did learn
Shout
was
out to my ignorance.
yeah, but what I did learn was that it wasn't that, and that there was things that you talk to your spirits and your ancestors for, but because other people in other cultures didn't understand it, they labeled
Right.
it as satanic,
Well, yeah. Well, it's definitely
It makes
Satan in
sense.
Savannah.
Well, it makes sense because I've never heard anyone say anything about voodoo as satanic.
Yeah.
It's just the aesthetic of everything that goes around it. You kind of put that on it.
Yeah. And if you see, I mean, it's all perspective, right? If you see it as like, these ancestors are helping me do X, Y, and Z or whatever, then you understand it's not that,
Went to the second oldest bar in Louisiana out there.
Yeah.
Super dope. Like, beautiful. Just little things like that I think you'd enjoy. But, like, as far as Essence is concerned, like, nah, I don't think you like that at all because it's kind of dirty.
Yeah. All right. Fuck out of here with your beignets. Yo,
The beignets is fire, though. Beignets is fire.
Yo, I walk around dusty with powdered sugar on my shirt all day for that.
What? Man, I took the delivery number.
Yo, did you hear about homegirl that got fired from Karen Civil?
Oh, you talking about the Nicki Minaj joint?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, I don't know how you went to that.
Sorry, I don't care. That was.
Give
on
me
my
the background.
mind.
I don't remember. I don't remember the
heard of
background.
Yo, so this intern, 24-year-old intern.
Which is a whole nother story.
She could have just left the military. Stop judging.
I'm not judging. I
You
just
are.
want to set the stage for those who don't know. So
I seen your eyes.
He
Your
had
eyes
the
never
tone.
lie.
He had
Guys
the
never
tone.
lie.
I want to set the stage. So her name was Wana, I think.
See, you over here judging, yo.
Judging.
Stop.
I'm setting the stage. So
Yo,
everyone,
Chad, listeners, Chad being mad judgy right
No,
now.
I'm
yo.
not.
Yeah, he said Wana? Like, what?
Yeah,
What?
I think that's her name because they got
Shout out to
like,
Virgil too, yo.
yo,
I don't know why. I just want to give a
yo,
shout out.
I think because the hashtag is justice for Wana.
I can't-
Yo, why is this so funny to you? Like, we need justice for. Yo, you get a hashtag now when you get fired.
Yo, anyway,
that's like saying free somebody after they like completely murdered a bunch of people.
All right, so she went at Nicki Minaj.
Hey, yo, Chad is dying to the point of like,
He
so
really likes his
unprofessional
name.
right now.
Yo, he likes his name.
Just,
I'm gonna let him finish. Hey, yo, Tommy, what's good?
what's good, baby? What's up, man?
I'm gonna let Chad finish.
I'm chilling, man.
He can't let that go.
Yo, Chad ain't have a beverage or nothing.
Oh man, that's wild. Justice for Juana.
Like she got locked up. Like she was
You
like,
got the airbrush tea.
Hey yo, I want to see her feed compared to Meek feed. Like, it's justice for Meek or justice for Juana. You pick one.
Yo, so anyway, it was about some tweet she put out
Hey
saying
yo,
like,
right? Say something funny so you can keep laughing. 'Cause, you know,
oh man. So her tweet was like, Nikki, you're 40.
Pushing 40.
Yeah, you're pushing 40. Like, basically, I think you should change your content. Nikki responds and goes off on her.
Southside.
Yo, and they go into like a back and forth, and what do you call Nikki's hive or whatever you call it?
Barbs.
The barbs
Southside,
came for her.
baby. We out here, baby.
Came for her. So, yo, like I think homegirl lost her job because Karen does business with Nikki.
Facts.
So I just thought that was interesting. Wanted y'all take on that.
You got fired over a tweet, ma?
Justice for Juana.
That's crazy.
I mean, I
Hold
feel
your
like
tweets
she
to
was
yourself.
speaking. She did not say any lies. In
She
that
did.
tweet.
She's not pushing 40. That
Why
means
is-
I'm pushing 40. And
True.
I ain't pushing 40.
True.
Wait, but if you're over 30, you're pushing 40.
No.
Why are you not? Where else do you go?
Yo, when you're like 36
36,
at a minimum,
37.
like it's the law of like rounding. Like after 35.
Yo, if you're how old is Nikki?
35.
She's probably 35.
She's pushing
no
40.
older than 36.
She's pushing 40.
If she's 35 and a half, she's pushing 40.
She's pushing 40.
All right, cool. Whatever.
All right, so she wanted more mature content.
Right. Well, one, do you agree with that?
Nah, because
First question.
Tekashi 6ix9ine running around talking about he a gangster and he got fucking rainbow hair.
I ain't gonna lie.
No.
I don't want to hear a woman go, brrr. That's like pushing 40. Like,
But I don't
wanna hear that.
care. And that's the thing. Like, we know the industry, there's theatrics throughout the whole industry, right? But like, I understand where she was coming from, and I agree with her saying like I want more mature content from Nikki. But if you talk about the industry, it's all a farce. Like it's all. I mean,
Yeah, but
Unless
Nikki's been talking about the same thing ever since she's been out. You have not seen Nikki really grow. It's been the same.
yo, this is how I feel about it. I don't give two shits. I don't give a flying farfignugan fuck about Nikki or Juana, like at all. Like,
why? Yo,
because I'm not listening to them. I don't
you're not
care.
listening to Nikki?
I ain't listening to Nikki in a couple
You're a
albums.
lie.
Why would I listen to her? I'd rather
You
listen
don't
to
like that-
Safari than
you
listen to
don't-
Nikki.
You don't like that
listen to
Chun Li joint?
No.
I haven't listened to it. I'm gonna
I
be
told
real.
you this before.
I
We
only
had this
listened to it
conversation
once.
on this pod. I don't relate to what the barbers relate to, so why would I listen to this shit?
Music is music. You don't always got to relate to good
I
music.
like to relate to my music. I like for it to like give me a certain energy, and the energy that she gives off, it ain't for me.
You know why?
Why?
Because she's pushing 40.
We're the same age.
Yeah, and she's still talking about the same
We're the
things.
same age from the same fucking neighborhood, and I don't give two shits about anything she got to say.
And I feel like, yo, you didn't give two shits when she first came out.
Didn't
In
care
the
about that
beginning.
either.
But you give two shits about Beyonce.
No,
Yes, you do. You was at the
I
concert.
did it. I didn't go to the concert,
He
and
got
I
a
wouldn't.
wife. That's not fair, yo. Stop it.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, honestly, I would only go to the concert now when the Carter's album came out. But before that, I was no way you gonna see me.
You was at the concert,
I went to Made in America.
yeah,
I didn't go to see Beyonce.
which was headed up by Beyonce.
it was
that
headed up
year.
by the weekend that year.
You still was there.
I'd have seen. I'd have seen.
Stupid
yeah,
ass
yeah.
Nikki. I don't want to hear that shit. I don't hear that shit.
Yo,
at
how do you
all.
feel about a 24-year-old intern?
I feel like I had a 28-year-old intern at my last job.
It's all relative, yo. What if you worked in finance all your life and all of a sudden want to go to advertising?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
what if you
agree.
just came from the military? Like that's what it is.
Yeah, I always tell people in order to take a step forward, you got to take a step back sometimes.
Facts, Snapple facts.
So I don't have an issue with it.
Yo, you heard about?
Yeah. Yo, what are y'all talking about today? Nikki and
You heard about?
that's to the pepperoni under the cheese. That shit nasty.
Yo, it's quiet for that.
You heard about
What happened,
Nah,
yo?
I can't talk about it.
Oh, the homie, the dude, he quit, right? What he do?
Nah, he ain't quit.
Nah, he said the N-word in a conference call or something like that.
He needs to go far away, man. I hope they put him in the oven.
Wow.
I agree with that.
That's crazy. How you gonna slip in a conference call? You the CEO? That's stupid.
And then try to justify it like, yo, before back in the days, y'all was getting dragged by trucks.
What did he say?
What?
Yeah, he tried to justify his use of the N-word by saying back in the day in the civil rights era, it was way worse. So, like, what are you talking about?
Yo, that's crazy. But I gotta take the oven comment back because that could be taken the wrong way. I just realized that. That's
Yo,
crazy.
that was wild.
I ain't mean it like that. I was literally thinking about the
That's
pizza
gonna be a
oven.
bullet point. I'm gonna put you in the oven.
Yeah.
We gotta definitely delete that because that's crazy. I would look at myself like,
Punch that.
Yeah, punch that.
that's crazy. Yeah, we leaving it. Whatever. We ain't got that many listeners yet.
That's a lie. We out here. Shout out, that's from my boy Gray Rizzy.
Yeah. What else happened though?
That's it, man.
Man,
we on the clock, man. I gotta get out of here.
What you gotta do? You got shit to do.
I told Danny I was gonna be home by this time.
You about to have a work-life balance or some shit like that? 'Cause I ain't.
Yo, but everyone.
Yo, let's wait.
Nah,
one last thing.
what?
We got 1 minute. I got 1 minute. I got 1 minute. Cool. Let's talk about this one girl that we all know that has been in Italy for the past 2 weeks, and I know she's back, yo. Just like Drake said.
Oh man,
I ain't gonna say her name,
we'll talk about it.
but he said, yo, they be posting 2 weeks later. You been home.
You know she's home.
I know for a fact she's home. I ain't seen her, but I seen her like on the way home tweet. And she's still posting.
All right.
Damn.
We gonna add her? I'll put it in the
Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Hold your head on that.
All right.
Yo, any challenges? Any challenges for the listeners?
Yeah, I got a challenge.
Go ahead, Thomas.
Live fast, but don't die young.
Mm.
I don't know what that meant, but it felt, you know.
Yo, my challenge is, every day you got to do one thing that makes you happy. Even if it's getting up at 6 a.m. and taking a shit, watching YouTube.
Do something to make. Oh, you trying to add me right now?
I'm throwing subs, my nigga.
Yeah.
Every single morning.
You got to do
Oh,
something that
man.
makes you happy. And don't forget that because, it's ups and downs. But, do that one thing that makes you right.
It's a fact. I like that, B. Go ahead, Chad, because you got the gem of the gems. People retweeting your shit. Don't come on.
Already putting little yachty post pictures on it.
Yo, that's
shout
mad
out,
pressure.
Yo, shout out to Shorty who
Yeah,
showed some
shout
love.
out to someone that showed love on my gym the other week. But nah, my challenge is super easy. Just want you ladies to put lotion on your heels when you wear them sandals in the summertime.
Yo, I hate him.
Yo, what? You said that? Yo, man. Shout
I'm
out.
tired of looking at crusty heels on the train. That is my challenge. Put lotion on your heels if you wearing sandals.
Where your elbows at? Let me see your elbows. You got lotion?
Come on.
Yo, on that note, man, we out of here, man.
Yo, until the next time.